Hello? Hello? Nearly forgot. All right. How are you, you fine people? I hope you're well. I hope you're well. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Um, haven't really got much of a plan today. I know that won't come as an enormous surprise to any of you, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I wouldn't really call it a plan. I've kind of got an idea, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, doesn't. It's not anything dramatic, you know me. Um, in this week's news, Stan has gone out for a walk. So we have no Stan at the moment. He has gone out on dog patrol to make sure there are no dogs. I decided to change the livery on my carrier. Um, so I'm now running that kind of thing, which has got a slightly more industrial, slightly more aggressive look to it, I suppose. Read into that what you will. Um, yeah, I like it. I prefer the honk on this one as well. This is the Victory class carrier, by the way, those of you who haven't seen it. So it's got I prefer that. I had the is it the Nautilus? Can't remember. It's the exploration-y one I had before. Um, but this I'm kind of digging this look at the moment. It's a bit more um, and a bit more, digging a hole with a spade kind of thing. Um, did you already get the Babylon 5 remastered version? I'm probably not gonna. No, I'm not. No, I could no. No, and I don't know that I will. I've bought Babylon, the entirety of Babylon 5. I've bought twice already. I used to have a wall of VHS videos, and it is a wall. I wish I still had it actually. I actually put it in a charity shop when I was moving house once, and I wish I still had it because I'd replaced it with DVDs at that point. I wasn't without Babylon. I'm not a monster, you know. So but it was literally, it was about, well, you can't see how tall that is, but it was about yay high, about chair height, I suppose, literally a wall of Babylon. It was amazing. I wish I still had it, but I know it would drive Ree nuts, and it would have to live in the garage, and then it would probably just get damp and destroyed. So. But yeah, I've got it all on DVD, and I have got the entirety of Babylon 5 on DVD. Every single movie, yes, there are movies. Every single movie, every single Crusade, everything. I've got everything in like a beautiful DVD box set. I wish it was Blu-ray, but I can't possibly buy it again. I cannot buy it again. There aren't enough hours in my day anymore. So that was a long answer, wasn't it? How you doing, everyone? Should we do some hellos? Grimes here, 57 Thorns. You all right, mate? More sticky out bits to catch the hooners. Well, Mad7, hello, buddy. Yakashura's here. Slam Dunk's here. Science Keeper is here. Hello, mate. Andrew Perslow, who I'm in a wing with. I really hope you can stick around, Andrew. I might need some cover. Hello, Bob. Hello, Exania. How are you? Mazda, Zebadian, Stew333, not me, mister. Wintermute, Simon Beck, Soundo, Spooker. Spookster, all right? Simon Garrett's here. Josa is here. Did you get your coffee sorted? Kevin Turner, how's your Sidewinder? Oh, did I do Slam Dunk already? Can't remember. Commander Phil Barnes, hello. Alzo's here. Hello, mate. I think he's got a work thing going on, unfortunately, so he's probably not here anymore. Sir Trogdor, Bill the Gamer. And I think that's everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I'm sorry if I missed anyone. I did try. I tried so terribly hard. I hope you're all right, people. How's your week going? Lockdown. We're still in lockdown, but there are noises about lockdown ending at the moment. I think they're making some sort of announcement. I think the 22nd is when they're going to start announcing how lockdown's going to end. Lockdown this time for us as a family has been very hard, quite mentally quite challenging. It's the third one we've been through now, and we're quite bored of it. Um, so whilst we will be glad to see it gone, but we'd rather get it done properly and then not have to do it again. Uh-oh, my carrier seems very. Oh no, oh no, oh no, who was that? Oh no, please don't be Swoop. Oh, Swoop, was that you? My carrier's very enthusiastically firing. Oh dear, that was Swoop. Swoops, I'm so sorry, mate. Oh dear. Wow, Zibs, that's a weird one. What happened there? How come that? That's very peculiar. Yeah, so, Andrew, I'm so sorry, mate. That's Brian in accounts. He gets a bit over enthusiastic. So yeah, lockdown's coming to an end soon, but I'm quite happy for them to sort of, take as long as it needs to do it properly this time because it's been a bit half-arse, to be honest, up till this point. So, and what's going? The vaccinations. I don't know if those of you who aren't in the UK might not know. Vaccinations in this country are going very, very well at the moment. I think we've vaccinated something like somewhere between 16 million last I heard, people. So that's going very well. So hopefully this will be the last one, and then we'll be in whatever a post-COVID world looks like. Here's hoping. So the plan for today. Well, I've got some. I've got to get rid of a bounty on this. Not a bounty, a fine on this ship, which I'm going to do first. And then I thought I might try and pick up a wing mission. There's quite often some wing missions from Wilson Port, in our home system, down to the planet below, which are easy money. They're a nice sort of quick back and forth mission that you have to do, but you quite often get attacked as well. So I'm kind of glad that Swoops is here, but I thought that might make it fun, and by fun I mean possibility of my death. So I need to go. So I just want to get this. I just want to get this fine cleared. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? GCRV 65988. GCRV 65988. So what are you lot doing in the game at the moment? How is your Elite Dangerous going? And we have got a live stream this very evening. That is, I believe, I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be, although I don't think they've specifically stated, but which is, I believe, an Odyssey-themed live stream, featuring the frankly marvellous Dr. K. Ross. Those of you who don't know K. Ross, she is the intimidatingly intelligent individual who is at least partly responsible, if not wholly responsible, for the Stellar Forge, which is the system that creates and runs the galaxy, basically, and populates the galaxy full of planets and stars, and that are all kind of chemically at least partly accurate, I suppose. Always a deeply fascinating person to listen to. She's a real life, what's the word I'm looking for? Astrophysicist, I believe. I don't wish to do her incredible list of qualifications a disservice, but she's a real life astrophysicist. Knows her stuff, and was also capable of creating things like the Stellar Forge, which just makes me feel furiously inadequate in every regard. I once made a sandwich that was amazing. I mean, it wasn't, it was nice, really nice. Let me tell you, cheese, pickle, it absolutely grated cheese as well. It wasn't just, didn't just slice it. Oh no, grated that bad boy. I've achieved. Oh, is it awful, isn't it? You're making the rest of us feel bad, Kay. Rein it in a bit. Science Keeper, you're looking into Star Citizen right now. I'm really interested to know what I'm never going to go there myself, I don't think, to be brutally honest, but I'm curious to know what others think of it. It's really funny, isn't it? My perception of Chris Roberts games and Star Citizen in particular. I played a number of his titles in my murky past, and I do think, whilst you can obviously draw comparisons between Star Citizen and Elite, for this bit of an extreme example I'm going to give, but for me the comparisons are kind of akin to, I don't know, Unreal Tournament and Arma. Do you know what I mean? They're the same game, sort of, if you write it down on a bit of paper, but they're not. If you know what I mean. The pace and the world that they inhabit is completely completely different, just got a completely different vibe to it. And I remember when the Kickstarter for Elite Dangerous came up. My God, what a happy day that was. Um, and the Kickstarter for, I believe Star Citizen was, I think they were active at the same time. I'm sure they were active at the same time. I'm sure I'm remembering this correctly, but, you know, brains. I remember them coming up at the same time, and whilst, again, on paper, Star Citizen is a game that I would play, it's a Chris Roberts game, and he makes a certain sort of game, and if there wasn't an Elite, I might look at Star Citizen because I had no other alternative. The moment Elite came up, and Braben was still attached to it, and Frontier was still attached to it, obviously because it's their property. It was just a complete no-brainer for me. So it's odd, isn't it? The games are kind of the same, sort of, but not really. Yeah, I completely agree, Science Keeper. I absolutely understand. Yeah, not comparing them, but really interested to see what other games are doing. Yeah, I completely understand. And I kind of, it's a weird thing with Star Citizen, although it's, the, say what you will about the way it's being funded or whatever, but I seriously doubt we will ever see the like again of something like this. It's extraordinary. It's never happened before. And I would think it extremely unlikely that it'll ever happen again. And one of the reasons it will never happen again is because Star Citizen happened. But it's that that hilarious level of detail that he's trying to get, um, for better or for worse. Just do a friend request. There we go. Yeah, that hilarious level of detail that he's trying to get, and that kind of that sort of that he's trying to get the ultimate simulation of absolutely everything down to the finest detail in an expansive evolving universe. I don't think you'll ever see that again because it's just too difficult and too expensive. Um, so it's fascinating to see as a gamer. It's fascinating to see where it goes. I mean, 12-year-old me would have wet himself if you um, told him about Star Citizen. It is amazing in that regard. But I'm much more of an Elite Dangerous person myself, and given the amount of time that we and I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination, but the amount of time that we have to pile into Elite and everything that we do now, it doesn't leave an enormous amount of room for anything else. Although we do try. Looking at Valheim at the moment, are you guys aware of Valheim? I'm not I'm not overly enamoured with the whole survival game genre, but I do like the lighter, less kick you in the nuts over and over again ones. So we played quite a bit of Raft for a while until that started getting too linear. But Raft is very good if you like, if you're sort of intrigued by that kind of thing. But it has still got a hunger meter and a thirst meter, and I find that sort of thing really annoying. Um, but Valheim is just doing. We kind of, obviously being in the streaming game, right? I do a bit of streaming, yeah. Being sort of slightly streamy, we do keep an eye on games that are coming out with a view to identifying something. There are two criteria, right? You want a game that everybody's going, oh, I got all that looks, oh, I really want to see that, because you obviously want to play something that people are going to want to see. But also because we're old and we just can't be bothered with rubbish. Sorry, we just don't have the time. Any game that we pick, we decide to have a stream with, has got to be something that we're actually interested in, right? We've got to be genuinely quite enthused by it. So that's why you don't see a fantastic amount of variety on this channel. You'll just see what intrigues us. But if something intrigues us and it's a bit virally or a bit meta at that particular time, um, then there's a chance that you might see it on here. And we kind of we see games come and go, and kind of keep an eye on them. And then there's always discussions in this house about, oh, is that going to be a zeitgeist game, you know what I mean? A kind of a game of the moment, you know, that kind of goes, whoa, everybody loves it, oh, and it's gone. And so, you know, for like, there was a 2 week period when X-Wing, for example, whatever the current X-Wing game is called, it was very popular, but it was only about 2 weeks. And then there was, is it Among Us, the little Who's the Murderer game, that one? And that popped up for a while, and we were looking at that going, oh yeah, we kind of looked at that and thought that's probably going to be a big zeitgeisty, everybody's got to play it game, and what do you know, it turns out it was. And so we had this conversation again about 2 weeks ago, actually, about Valheim, and kind of was looking at that going, that looks like that's gonna go, and what do you know, it has indeed. But we are looking at that, but it hasn't got the one of the reasons that knowing it's a survival game, I'm still looking at it, is that it doesn't apparently have the, what am I getting rid of? Get rid of that. It doesn't have the concentrate burr. Hang on, let me just do that, and then right. It doesn't have the kind of the requirement to drink and the requirement to eat mechanics. You can eat, but that, I believe, it it you have a meter still attached to it, but when you eat something, it buffs you and kind of gives you, I think, gives you abilities or something like that. But it doesn't. You won't be sort of halfway through a fight, run out of food, and then all of a sudden you start to die because you haven't eaten as well. You know, it doesn't do that. I find that quite irritating. So, and if you need to repair your weapons and stuff like that, I believe you don't need materials and whatever to do it. You can just go to your bench and repair stuff, and that's it. You don't need, like, you know, need to constantly pour resources into keeping your sword working, for example. And you can build boats to go up and down the river, and you can build a hall, and I think eventually sort of, you know, a village, and then turn that into a castle kind of thing. And I believe there's room to cooperate with about sort of between like 5 and 10 players, I think, but I haven't looked into it terribly deeply. But it did look interesting. Graphically, it's quite pretty as well. You can see why people are sort of rather enamored with it at the moment. But if you haven't seen it, it's a Viking. Yes, Yagashura. It's a sort of, excuse me, it's a sort of Viking themed thing. So it looked quite interesting. So sorry, the start of all that ramble was, have you looked at it? Are you aware of it? And does it intrigue you?
3, 2, 1, engage.
Not me, mister. Get you being all posh with your grated cheese. I know, right? Yeah, Among Us was, when I can see why Among Us went, you know, was sort of slightly virally, but why it then sort of, you know, almost, I don't know, it lasted quite a long time, didn't it, Among Us? But it's kind of dropped off a cliff a little bit now. Okay, Swoops, it's telling me you're in Wilson Port, which is extremely useful to me. So I'm going to try the wingman navlock thing and hope that that works. When it works, it's great. When it doesn't work, it's a pain in the tangos. It's worked. Head tracking. Has it worked? Oh no, how far away? Oh no, it has worked. Yeah. It has worked. There we go. So if the mission that I'm after is waiting for me, Swoops, it will mean doing runs down to the planet below us, in actual fact. But the journey between Wilson and the planet is often quite treacherous. And I'm in a completely unarmed, lightly armoured Type 9, which I know will annoy Yagashura intensely. Sorry about that. Good, that's working. Okay. Let me have a look at chat. What are you doing? What are you doing? Has anyone played Among Us? We did look at that for a while and think, oh, that might be fun, but then, I think it would probably be fun for like one stream, and then we'd get rapidly bored with it, I suspect. Subnautica, yeah, I've looked at a fair bit of Subnautica. That I tell you what, if that had had multiplayer, that definitely would have been on the radar. Mazda saying Valheim looks a lot like Ark or 7 Days to Die. It kind of, do you know what? Valheim kind of,
Landing gear
it
deployed.
kind of had a slightly, when I looked at it, it slightly had a slightly World of Warcraft vibe to it, I suppose. Kind of, sort in a very loose sense. I think there were like there you can summon bosses and things like that. To kind of, I got the impression that you could summon bosses and then kind of go up to the next tier after you've killed them, kind of something like that. I don't know. It did look really interesting. It's worth a look. What am I doing here? Right, I'm looking for missions, aren't I? This is the bit when I find out I haven't got any of the regular missions that I normally do. Let's just do that. Not looking great. Okay, we haven't got any of the delivery missions, but I can pick up. Um, let's try one of these actually. Rare artwork salvage. These are always fun. People have dropped paintings in the middle of space. There's expansion data query. Let's pick up a rare artwork to begin with, and then see how we get on after that. We'll do that, and then we'll come back. Just going to nip to the carrier swoops to change ships.
Landing gear retracted.
Yeah, not me, Mr. Agree. Actually, Among Us lives and dies by who you're playing with. Completely. Yeah, I can understand that completely. Mazda, I know. Yeah, it doesn't like Type 9's the auto dock system. It really doesn't. Zibs, I do love my Type 9. I really do, mate. I love my Type 9. I wish they'd, you know, they made noises about uh, another balance pass on the existing ships after Odyssey's kind of launched and a bit more out the way. I wish they'd add another bay to the Type 9 just to up its cargo capacity a little bit, because it's, you know, I mean, look at it. It is a dedicated hauler, and it's currently
Ready to
not
engage.
really got the biggest
4,
haulage capacity in the
3,
game
2,
by a wide enough
1.
margin for my money.
Engage.
It just needs one more bay with the ability to get like another, you know, another sort of 7 or 8 cargo slot in there, I think, personally. But just to kind of make the risk of flying it worth the reward, in my humble. But I won't claim to be an expert on ships or their capabilities or anything like that. Really, really not. But I like what I like, you know. Look at it. It looks like an angry shark now. It's been an angry shark kind of week. I think that's probably what made me change it. Yagoshura will know that of which I speak. There we go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe not a C8. Maybe, I don't know, a 4 or a 5 or something. But just something just to kind of tip it up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? I wish they could do, like, maybe if they could do, you know, like they do with military bays, where the only thing you can put in there is hull or shield or whatever. I wish it would do like a, you know, a dedicated
Landing
kind
gear
of
deployed.
cargo slot. Zibadian, hoping for size 9 slots. When those come out, I'll place a 9A fuel scoop on it and drain stars completely. Yeah, that's a great image, isn't it? I love seeing that. Like the stars getting smaller as you're scooping. I have actually looked. Funny enough, Alzo, I have actually looked into subtitles, and you probably can't hear me at the moment. So, but I have actually looked into getting live subtitles. You can do it on Twitch. but I haven't found a way to do it on YouTube yet. Yeah, I'd like. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to have some to have a progression system with the Alliance and have some ships, some upper tier Alliance ships. Panther Clipper. And I still want my Panther Clipper that's so big it can't get in a station. That's what I want, and that you have to use a Type 9 to fill it up. That would make me a happy burr. I want to use my Type 9 like a ship launched fighter, you know. Right, I'm going after someone's paintings, aren't I? So I think probably my BGSer will probably do the job. Can't remember if I've got. Yes, I have. Excellent. I know I can scoop. I want external docking cradles. Yes, Mazda. Exactly that. Exactly that. Yeah, I wanted a collector limpet. I know I could scoop manually, but I just can't be bothered. Okay, where are we going? This is the important question. We are going there.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Launch is go.
I forgot my limpets. I forgot my limpets, ladies and gentlemen. Did anybody tell me? No, they didn't. You may now mock me ruthlessly. This is gonna be boon points for me, isn't it? And this is gonna be boon points, and I'll get extra boon points because it's on a live stream. Yeah, Space Mercenary, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Can land on it and dock with it and store at least two small size ships. That would be very, very cool. How long have you been at this? What the old being an idiot game, mad? My entire life, mate. This is a career choice, what you're seeing here. Come on, we've all done it. We've all done it. Abriel Keen, I seriously doubt I've got the material space for it. I might have, but we'll be here forever if I do that as well. Let's go with that. Okay. Let's try that again.
Landing gear retracted.
Clamps have released.
It does mean I get to do 2 carrier launches, so there's that. Thanks for the cover swoops, by the way. Appreciate it, mate. 57 Thor's Jagershooter is typing.
Frameshift drive charging.
Here we go. We're only 36 minutes into the stream, 37 minutes into the stream, and we're now about to achieve something. Let's do this, people. What's a Panther Clipper? Anybody want to get that?
2, 1.
Not me, mister. In the second Elite game, which I want to say was about 1988, around that era, I think. It was called Frontier Elite 2, and it was the first Elite game.
Mission critical message.
Oh, 2 seconds, busy cockpit. It was the first Elite game where you could actually have different ships and change ships.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
I want the whatnot, don't I? You could change ships, and the top tier sort of I suppose I want to say cargo. It was primarily a heavily armed cargo vessel, I suppose. Is this thing called the Panther Clipper, um, and it was huge and covered in turrets. Um, and so, as an example, right, when I played Frontier Elite 2, started off at harmless like everybody, um, and with 100 credits, and went all the way through the game staying completely harmless, doing almost nothing but trading, um, and worked my way up through different size ships until I got to the Panther Clipper. And then when I got the Clipper, I had so much money that I covered it in sort of the highest grade shields that I could find, and military lasers, which were completely deadly. And then went into Anarchy systems, and got to Elite in combat, which wasn't quite as difficult as it is these days, but still, challenging. Um, got to Elite in combat in the space of like a day, something like that, something ridiculous like that. It's an absolute beast of a ship. It's absolutely huge, and covered in turrets basically.
Frameshift drive
So
charging.
those of us that remember that era are kind of like, yes,
3,
this is
2,
great. I'd like a Panther
1.
Clipper in this,
Engage.
please. That's basically what it is. So has that told me now where I'm going? I'm going to have to read the mission, aren't I? Oh, there we go. We're going there. So yeah, did I adequately explain that? Is that everyone else's remembering of the Panther Clipper? It was a great looking thing as well. It was basically a massive box, um, and it had sort of engine nacelles on the side that would rotate like that. So when you put the landing gear down, the engines used to rotate like that, and then you'd end these huge thrusters coming out the bottom. So you'd end up with sort of like 4 landing engines that would then face backwards when you wanted to go charging off into the black kind of thing. It was very cool. I mean, if you look at it, given the graphics of that period, if you look at it now, it looks laughably bad. But in those days, it was. Oh, look at the spaceship! Laban, FDev have posted more about tonight's live stream. What? 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 There you go, not me. Yeah, it's not a tough sell, buddy. Honestly, in this game, it would be amazing fun if they could repair or sort of fix the multi-crew turret side of it. I think if you could make the turret gameplay a little bit more engaging, it would be incredible. Mad 7, bulky flying brick design was one of its key features. Spoke more to its gargantuan size and use in non-atmospheric environments than, yeah, very much, very true. That's one of the things I love about the Type 9. It just looks so utility, it kind of like that. It looks like it does what it says on the tin, and the cutter doesn't, for me, doesn't look like that. But I get it's got the Imperial design philosophy behind it, but I think there should be a bit more of a compromise there with regard to storage space. But what the hell do I know? It's actually quite a nice day here today, by the way. We've had, as much as I don't want to default to the British obsession with the weather, but we know I will do anyway because I'm British and slightly obsessed with the weather. It's actually quite a nice day here. We've had sort of probably, I think it feels like 6 months, but we've had about 2 weeks, 3 weeks of almost constant unrelenting rain, and high winds, particularly the last couple of weeks. Um, and it's all cleared today, and it's absolutely beautiful outside now. So we might go for one of our government-approved walks this afternoon and get some sky above us. Imagine that. You know, the worst thing about lockdown is it's not that I want to, don't get me wrong, I'd love to go to, the Frontier Expo or LaveCon and all that stuff. I miss all that stuff, of course. But it's the little things. I just want to be able to go down to our favourite local spot to get some fish and chips. I just want to do stuff like that,
Mission objective
and
detected.
go for a walk on the beach without feeling guilty. Right, where are we? Currently charging through the middle of it. Probably smashed
Programming limpet drone.
their painting.
Programming limpet drone. Cargo scoop deployed.
So what have we got going on here? Okay, it's the rare artworks I want. Everything else I've already discounted from previous runs. Excellent. I think you can sometimes get attacked in these instances, occasionally, quite rarely to be honest, but it shouldn't be a problem in this ship. This ship's quite handy.
Mission objective
Mad 7
complete.
fish and chips, yeah man.
Incoming mission critical message.
Living the dream. Is that everything? Are we done? We're done. Let's go!
Cargo scoop retracted. Frame shift drive charging.
That was easy.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Okay, back to the big T. Okay, not back to the big T. Oh, I'm locked on Swoopy still, aren't I? Ugh. Heavens above. Okay, dramatically, back to the big T.
Frame shift
Let's go again.
drive charging.
Octopus. Oh god, I had squid once. Oh,
4,
yeah. There's so fish and chips. There's a I won't bore you with the specifics, but I've got an exciting diet. I can't eat wheat and barley and stuff. I'm a celiac. So there's only one place that I trust. Have a good one, Yaga. See you later on, mate. There's only one place that I trust to go and get fish and chips from, which is in a
fuel scooping.
very picturesque,
Fuel
touristy
scoop
um,
disengaged.
fishing village a few miles from here. It's a bit of a drive. I have to drive past several fish and chip shops to get to it, hilariously. But it's the only one I trust that does gluten-free fish and chips and won't put me in hospital. And it's quite expensive as well. It's eye-wateringly expensive. One of the nice things about fish and chips is it's cheap, but when we have to have fish and chips, it isn't because of my hilarious diet. So, but it is really nice. It is really, really nice, and I miss that. I really miss that. One of our favourite things to do as well is above the same fishing village is to just go and there's a load of benches above the harbour and looking down on the estuary. And on a nice day like this, we'll just take a flask and some snacks, sandwiches or whatever, and just go and sit on one of these benches for an hour or so and put the world to rights while we look at the goings on below. It's really, really lovely, and I just missed stuff like that. It's little things. I was joking with Reed the other day. We went on a date to the post box at the corner of the road and then came back again. But with all that said, once all this rubbish is over, it would be nice if we had a Frontier Expo again, wouldn't it? I bet Frontier would quite like us to have a Frontier Expo again as well. It would be nice to be able to do that.
Papa Sierra, thank you for
See
choosing
some
Ice Cream
faces.
Commander. We hope you find everything to your liking. Request approved. Cleared to land.
Okay, if we haven't got any wingy or delivery missions down to the planet below us, we'll see what else we can pick up here. Vass, of course you didn't miss anything. There's been some mild incompetence, but little Ted, Australia is all about grilled barmundi. What's a barmundi? I'm guessing that's a fish. Barmundi sounds like it wants to eat you. Seb's in the French countryside. Ree used to live in France.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, JSB, there was a CG running this last week that granted everyone a temporary um, permit to a system that was previously locked. And at the end of the CG, most of the population in the galaxy will be losing the permit, but it will be re-accessible, I believe, in some regard, somehow, at some point in hopefully the not too distant future. If you have a look at Galnet, it's the whole Jupiter Rochester storyline that it's tied up with. What am I doing? Handing in and then getting a new mission. So I went mining. We've got a dedicated mining community in our Discord called the Buur Pit Mining Company, the BPMC. A glorious bunch. Me and Ree went mining with the two of their prominent members last weekend. We're doing it again this weekend actually, because I needed a bit of cash, and it's always good to sit down with. It was the lovely Rod Norris and Tyron who took us out, and we went mining with those two and just chatted for a couple of hours while they suffered our incompetence, which was quite fun. So I made a good, I think about 200 million I made just in that evening alone. But then my son wanted to go to Colonia in his fleet carrier, and he couldn't make the money. He couldn't make the money himself because 18. So basically, mum and dad had to fill the carrier up for him. So I basically lost all the money again filling his carrier. So luckily, let's try. Hang on, I quite enjoyed that one. That one's just going to fire at me. So that's just skimmers. What can I do? What should I do? What should I do? Let's do that. I kind of want something where there's a danger of me being assailed, quite frankly. Let's try those. How far have we got to go? Okay, let's go there first.
Landing gear retracted.
But I haven't spoken to him this morning because he's not out of bed yet. But I believe he would have reached Colonia last night. He's doing the trip that Down to Earth, funnily enough, is doing at the moment, where he's taking people out to Colonia to unlock the engineers. He's basically doing that with a couple of his mates, but doing it in his own carrier.
Flight assist on.
Doing it in his own carrier because he wants the sort of freedom to stay out there for as long as he wants and then come back, kind of thing. I don't think the. Have a good one, Mad. Take care, mate. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Yeah, little Ted. He's basically doing that, but he wants his sort of freedom to kind of stay there for as long as he wants and do the sightseeing that he wants without being on someone else's schedule, kind of thing. So. Oh, sorry, Exania. Nah, not in this ship, mate. Nah. All right, there, Swoops.
Frameshift drive charging.
So yeah, he's I think he would have got there last night. I think he if I remember dinner correctly, yesterday evening he was only about 3 or 4 jumps away. So. It was great. It's a weird life, isn't it? We lead. We got a teenager in the house who also plays this game, and as parents, Ree and I both had Type 9s filling up his fleet carrier for him with tritium while he went after him, because he was going on a road trip. It was fun though. It was really good. It's weird being my age and flying a spaceship next to your wife who's also flying a spaceship. You know, we've both got our own T9s and we're both filling up our son's fleet carrier. It's very odd. Mazda, let's see if I'm any better at combat spoilers. I'm not. Oh, mate. You'll get there, buddy. You'll get there. Exania, do you mean in a fleet carrier? I want to say in a fleet, yeah, in a fleet carrier. I think you can do it in about, I think it's about 45 jumps, something like that. I think, I want to say. Um, it's um, it's fairly doable, and you only need to sort of, I say only, with the range the fleet carrier's got and the amount of storage space that it's got internally, you can put shed tons of tritium in it, and you haven't got to worry about mining tritium when you're out in the black, kind of thing. You can do it kind of in, you can fill the carrier up with tritium and then do it in one non-stop trip, kind of thing. Little Ted, your daughter does your cargo missions. That's brilliant. That's awesome. How old's your daughter, mate? Yeah, Phil Barnes, about 15 hours of jumping. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Orbital flight engaged.
So hopefully in the not too distant future we'll be doing this down to at least lightly covered atmospheric worlds. I thought I heard a cat behind me then, but I don't think I did. We can check and see. I don't think there's anything there. No, there isn't. See you later, Stu. Have a good one, mate. I realise watching Burr on mute is not really entertaining. Are you sure, Alzo? I mean, I've got to be honest, mate, with the sound on, it's not much better. Let's be brutally honest. Be more animated. Okay, mate. It's the collective noise of everybody watching now being sick in their own mouth. Being a streamer is kind of weird. I don't know if you're getting that. God, if I'd have told 20-year-old me that I'd be doing stuff like this, it would have been filled with horror. Flailing.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, dear. Right, what are we doing? There is a cat in here. Oh, hello, Squid. Right, Squid's in here, people, which means there's liable to be disruption. Hello, sweetie. You alright? Hello, darling. Yeah. The troublesome Squid has arrived. I thought I could hear something. If the opportunity presents itself, I will grab Squid, so that you can see the Squid or cat, if you'd like that, people. What was that? Secondary contact available. Let's have a look. Let us see. Locate the point of interest in blah, 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 blah. Locate and interact with the data panel. Deliver the code. Blah, blah, blah. Should we give that a go? Let's give that a go. What the hell? Why not?
Incoming mission critical message.
We need that dance as a Discord server remote.
Detected.
Nah, you're right. Was that the chunk shuffle truffle? Okay, Squid's just climbing a wardrobe there. So she's up in her eyrie now, so then this might be a Squid-free stream, which in some ways is sad, but in other ways is a distinct advantage. Little Ted, she's 9. Okay, oh mate, that's really sweet. Wow. What ship have you got her flying when she's 9 years old? That's incredible. Aren't you worried about your ship? Got to be honest, I'd be a bit nervous. Is that unfair? Right, where are we going for that one? I wasn't paying attention. Planetary scan job. Okay. Peklo Sumji. Okay. Don't know is the answer to that. Okay. Let's just go there and have a look.
Frameshift drive charging.
Sorry about all the running around, Andrew. Hope that's okay, mate. Either way, oh, look at that, turn frameshift off. Either way, I appreciate the company, buddy. For slave labour now, child. I know, 57. Is there no limit to the depths that Elite Dangerous will stoop to?
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Still, you know, when you've got a job to do, anytime you can get a young person to do it for you so that you can sit back, drink tea and watch telly, I don't think that's a bad place to be at all. Again, life goal. So what am I doing here? Do I need to...
Fuel scooping.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna need to nav beacon for this. We'll do
Fuel
that
scooping complete.
as a starting place and then see where we end up.
Warning. Temperature critical.
Swoops, I haven't even given you a beacon, have I, mate? I'm really sorry. Hang on, I will do that. Possible loop of shame incoming. It's about time the stream had one, so... Got quite a video intense few days coming up, so it's liable obviously that there'll be a video off the back of tonight's chat with Dr. K. So we'll do our best to summarise that for you as quickly as we can. Tomorrow is Witch Space News Day. So either way, we'll be doing our a regular show tomorrow, and then we have got a video coming out on Saturday as well, which is something a little bit special. It's pretty much in the can already. It's a collaboration, I will say that. It's pretty much in the can already, and we're just kind of dotting some I's and crossing some T's on it, and Ree's taking sort of, you know, one last look over it to make sure everything's where she wants it to be. But that should be out on Saturday afternoon, we think, probably. I can't remember what I'm looking at now. I want to go over there, don't I? So have I now got a target here? Yes, I have. Excellent.
Frameshift drive charging. Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Roblox is awesome. I have a donut house. Your daughter has a mansion. Yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? Spooks that. Yeah, what a privilege though to be able to play video games with your kids though, even if it's you know something you're not awfully interested in. My it wasn't until I think I've said this before. It wasn't until my own parents. My mum was never interested. My dad, love his heart, only really he was very scornful of video games. He saw them as sort of trivial and stupid um, throughout most of my life. Up until his last few years, he's sadly gone now, but up until his last few years, he wanted nothing to do with them until I introduced him to Flight Simulator, and then my God, it changed. Yeah, so it was quite nice for his last few years. He really enjoyed Flight Simulator, so that was quite nice to see. But we never got to do multiplayer. That's something I would have liked to have done, but I never managed to get that together. But it is nice, like for us, it's nice to sort of sit around the dinner table or sit around in an evening chatting to our um, chatting to our son about what games he's playing. He also, he plays an awful lot of Elite, but he plays loads of other things as well, and it is nice to kind of sit around and have that in common. The interesting thing is, like, although we're sort of moderately successful YouTubers, uh, and we YouTube about a game that he loves, we're still not cool. So that which was makes me laugh. We'll never be never ever be cool, which is fine. It's hard, isn't it? Spooks that it will indeed. Yes, it will indeed. Was he previously interested in flying and planes? I suppose not really. No. I mean, he had an appreciation of planes. Over and above. Oh, that's a plane. He grew up sort of at the end of the war, so he knew his Spitfire from his Hurricane, from his Lancaster. Um, I wasn't concentrating on what I'm doing here. Okay, there we go. Um, Yeah, so but over and above that, not really. No, he certainly sort of never expressed any interest in actually flying a plane. But um, I suppose that one of the things one of the joys he got from it, particularly was something like he wouldn't have just played any flight simulator. It was the fact that it was a civilian flight simulator, and uh,
Orbital flight
he
engaged.
could fly over airports that he knew that were local to him, and could fly sort of out to London for one of his birthdays when he was about sort of 75. um, we booked him a pleasure flight from Biggin Hill, which was near his house, um, which went out over London, sort of took in the sights, done a quick circuit up the river and back, and then down into Biggin Hill again. And he used to do that flight in Flight Simulator um, quite a lot, if you know what I mean. So it was kind of it was that I suppose it was that aspect of it that he really enjoyed. And then sometimes he'd go down to um, for the version of Flight Simulator that he was running at the time anyway. He'd go to sort of the rough area of, I don't know, like he'd go for a walk on the South Downs with my mum or something like that, and then try and find it in Flight Simulator, stuff like that, which was quite sweet. It's a shame. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago. It's a shame he never got to see the current version of Flight Simulator, because the replication of terrain, it goes right down to your house, so you can literally find your house in the current version of Flight Simulator. It won't be accurate to what your house looks like, but it will make a rough guesstimation based on the country that you live in, that kind of thing. Um, it's good enough that you can find your house and smash a plane into the street outside, kind of thing. He would have really, really enjoyed that. He would have got a lot. He would have got a hell of a kick out of that. But he was good enough. By the time he sort of by the time he sadly passed, he was good enough at it that he could take off in a Cessna, fly to where he wanted to, stare out the window at whatever it was he wanted to look at, and then fly his Cessna back again, and land it moderately well. It was good. It was nice to see. A little Ted, you practiced your pilot's license on FSX. Wow. Wow. And a stupid question, but I guess it helped. I suppose if nothing else, it gave you a bit of cockpit familiarity. Got you used to sort of doing a circuit and checking your instrumentation and stuff, I guess, if nothing else. Even if the flight mechanics weren't, 100% accurate. Oh, cool. Yeah, like I wish I had more Ted. I wish I had more time for the. I've got the current flight sim, and I am. There's a few videos on this very channel. If you want to look at them, I'm planning to do a sort of a around the UK trip, um, which should be starting fairly soon, all being well. I'm just trying to find a window for it, really, in between making elite videos. But there was an update to the current version of Flight Simulator. I want to say day before yesterday, um, that added shed tons more detail to the UK specifically. So I've kind of been waiting for that. What am I? I don't even know what I'm actually doing here. Isn't that awful? It's a problem. I get talking to you lot and I don't know what I'm doing. Point of interest, I'm going to locate and interact with the data panel. Okay. I want a data panel, please. I'm guessing it's that red light down there. No, it's not that red light down there. There's a skimmer. Hello, how are you? Don't mind me. Oh, there we go. Okay, do you reckon I can get it from my ship? Let's try.
Warning, you have entered a trespass zone. Incoming message. Trespass zone cleared.
There we go.
Incoming
Thanks very
mission
much,
critical
everyone.
message.
Bye-bye.
Bounty incurred.
Yeah, whatever. Nice. There is some local colour. Don't mind me. Just don't mind me. Nothing to see here. Just
Scan detected.
uh-oh.
Frameshift drive charging.
Nothing. That wasn't me,
4,
officer.
3, 2.
He went that way. He was driving a yellow Ford
Engage.
Capri. Let's get that one sorted. Where am I going for that? Back there. Okay. Come on, system map. Come on. You've got this. We believe in you, system map.
Frameshift drive charging.
Spooks, you work in the aircraft field. Gotcha.
1. Engage.
I love all aircraft, more so Spit, Hurricane, etc. Instead of my dad, we shared a common liking. Need a flight in a Spit 50. Oh, mate. Oh, I used to work with a woman. This was many years ago, whose family owned the two-seater Spitfire that you often see on the BBC whenever they take a journalist up for a flight. In a Spitfire, I think I want to say there's only one, or there certainly used to be. Her family owned that Spitfire. The Grace family. Surname was Grace. I don't know how they came to own it. I'm assuming they built it, but a real space pilot's license. I don't know. It feels like that stuff's coming, doesn't it? I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime, but I don't think it's as far away as it used to be. Do you guys? I guess most of you guys, keep at least a cursory eye on what SpaceX is doing. um, so they're the bunch. If you're not aware, they're the bunch that sort of it's almost, well, it's literally every week now. They're launching rockets every single week, and they're the ones that land those rockets as well. They don't just kind of burn up or hit the sea or something. They actually land, when it works anyway. They actually land them. Did you see the testing, the rapid testing that they're now doing for the kind of the next generation? This thing, I think it's called Starship. And it literally looks like something out of Flash Gordon. It's a big silver, absolutely massive silver rocket with wings on it. It's an extraordinary looking thing. Yeah, the testing they're doing at the moment, they're at the let's try and land it and see what causes it to crash phase. So they're sending it up, sort of doing sky maneuvers with it, and then bringing it back down again in full and clear knowledge that it's probably going to hit the ground and blow up. That's kind of the stage that they're at the moment. But it's still, the stuff they're doing with it is still extraordinary. This thing's the size of a building. It's absolutely massive, and they've got it going up and then doing like a belly flop maneuver when it comes down, and then trying to right itself again. So it's some extraordinary physics and rocketry going on that they're having to wrestle with. But this is SpaceX. There's no way they won't get there. And I believe that's the thing that they're looking to sort of send. I think they're looking to send that to the moon, and I want to say Mars as well, with people in it, I think, if I remember correctly. Just nuts. The world we live in now is just extraordinary. You've got, the likes of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, these kind of tech billionaires who grew up a little bit frustrated with the speed of progress from NASA and Russia. Now that they didn't have a political agenda to explore space, they've kind of grown up with that frustration, but have now got massive pockets, and so they've taken it under their own belt and are essentially commercializing and monetizing space. But that's the way that it's gonna blow the doors open. Just up the road from where we are in Cornwall, one of the airports, which is I think it certainly used to be RAF, but it's RAF St Morgan. It was known as. It's Newquay out that way. They're Virgin Galactic are going to be launching planes from there that have got rockets slung underneath. So we won't actually have, the rockets themselves won't be departing from the airport up the road, but the planes carrying the rockets that they will then launch from the plane and to put satellites in orbit is their plan. That'll be going out from up the road from us, which is just nuts, absolutely nuts. I did the thing, got slightly illegal, but I'm sure that's fine. There we go. You're welcome. Okay, where next? That one looks far away. Let's go to that one. When you pick up a load of missions like this, do you guys have a system? Do you kind of, I always, when I've got loads of missions in a ball like that around and I'm working from the middle, I always go to the one that's the furthest away, and then I go to the next closest and the next closest, and then work in until I'm back in the middle again. Do you do that, or do you just kind of randomly pick one and go there? Do you have a process? Hello, Swoops, mate. Thank you once again for the cover. I appreciate it so much, mate. It's very sweet of you, buddy.
Frameshift drive charging.
Have you got a process, people?
4, 3,
Yeah, eventually
2,
SpaceX will end up as the
1.
Sirius Corporation.
Engage.
Virgin doing space planes. Mazda, they are, well, they are. They've got Virgin Galactic's got two arms. I want to say it's all Virgin Galactic. They might have a different company, I don't know. But so they've got the kind of the one that's on the other side of the Atlantic, the American one. That's the one where they've got that is actually a tourism thing where they're planning to do trips into space, like right to the edge of space, and then in a kind of almost like a rocket powered shuttlecock. It goes up, taking a few tourists up. They get a hell of a ride up there for a few minutes, get to see the Earth from suborbital, and then it comes back down again, does a sort of weird shuttlecock maneuver to bleed off a bit of speed, and then comes in and lands. They're doing that in, I want to say, Arizona or Utah or Nevada, somewhere like that kind of thing, I think. Certainly out in a desert. And the one up the road from us is a more sort of industrial arm, I suppose. They're sort of looking to do satellite launches. So they're launching satellites into orbit, but they're doing it in a slightly more unconventional way. So obviously the thickest part of the atmosphere, the bit that requires the most fuel, is the first sort of, I don't know, 100 miles or so, or something ridiculous like, I can't remember the number, but it's the first sort of 50 60,000 feet or something like that. So they've equipped I believe a 747 to have rockets underslung on them. So this 747 takes off with a huge rocket slung underneath, gets up as high as it possibly can out over the Atlantic somewhere, drops the rocket, which then fires its own engine, and then goes off to carry the rest of the payload. But they get that kind of really expensive, fuel-wise bit of atmosphere done.
Frameshift drive charging.
Why am I going to Toanta? I'm not going to Toanta. Yeah, they sort of do that. Get the. I should concentrate on what I'm doing, really, shouldn't I? That would be a good thing. I don't want to go back there yet. I want to go out. Let's go there. Yeah, so it's that bit. I wish they were launching the rocket from the ground. That would be a thing to see, but no, it'll just be jumbo jets, but still be a hell of a thing to see.
Frameshift drive charging.
Hello, Aki, mate. How you doing? Okay, so Fearless, you get EDDI to figure out the best route most of the time. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Spooks there furthest first and then come back. Simon, whatever's on the top of the transactions tab. Stop.
Fuel scooping.
Hello, Barney, mate. How are you, mate?
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Simon, I flew out of Headcorn once. Like flew I flew into Headcorn rather. I had at least 2 flying lessons. I had not with a view to doing full flying lessons, but I did sort of 2 trial lessons at 2 different points in my distant and murky past. I've always been a bit plane obsessed, and both times flew into Headcorn, landed, stopped and had a cup of tea at what was the little cafe hut thing there. I'm assuming that's still there. I keep meaning to go there in Flight Simulator and have a look. Actually, I don't live in that part of the world anymore, but the thing I remember about Headcorn is when we were coming into land, and I could not see the runway at all until we were right on top of it. It's literally, at that time at least, it was literally a field, a very long field, but it was a field. Aerobatic, yeah. A younger me would have liked an aerobatic experience. Older me, not quite so keen. But yeah, that would be a hell. Oh my God, that would be a hell of a thing. I've been there and watched um, um, uh, skydiving as well. They do a bit of skydiving, don't they? Have you not been well, Barney? Are you okay, mate? I hope it's nothing sinister. Jabs, I haven't. Ree and I haven't had our jabs yet. Our son has. He's um, on a vulnerable register, so yeah, he's had his jabs, which were well, his first one at least, which we're very pleased about. We're not far off. I think ours might well be in the next month and a half, maybe. Okay, Simon. So they got the two-seater Spitfire is that a head core now? Is there multiple ones now? Because I know for a while there was only one, but that was a good sort of 30 years ago. I'm talking about there, or 20, 30 years ago. So the blades are ex-Red Arrows pilots. Wow. Okay. So the best of the best of the best then.
Docking request granted.
Okay, Mazda. Yeah. So yeah. So you're kind of in an interesting grey area, aren't you? Where you're younger. So yeah. I'm sorry to hear about your ankle, Barney. I wish you better, mate. It's a pain that, isn't it? Ugh. Yeah. So you're kind of where you're younger, Mazda. You're sort of you kind of get pushed further up the list, don't you? But you've also got asthma as well. So
Landing
frankly,
gear
mate, I'd have
deployed.
you further down the list, but a bit closer to now. Okay, so there's at least two of them now. Okay, brilliant, brilliant.
Docking
Spitfires, I
successful.
mean.
Engines disengaged.
What we doing? What we doing? What we doing? Come on, come on. I do have a doing the thing lined up for this week, by the way. I know I didn't do one last week because we were a bit rushed, but I do have a doing the thing lined up, and it is there. My elite is taking a lot longer to do things like this than it normally would do. Okay, there we go. That might I think Ree might be on a video call with her mum
Incoming
actually.
message.
Cool. That's that done. Just make sure I always if I remember, which is not, you know what I'm like, people, which is not often, I try and remember to check and make sure I haven't got two missions in the same system. Uh-oh, that one looks like it might be a long way away. Oh, no. Guess who's taking a carrier trip there later? Oh, no way. Where else have we got? I think that's it. Is that it? Okay. Let's go to that one.
Landing gear
Yeah, that's it. Not
retracted.
me, Mister. Yeah,
Ship released. Engines
the Grace
engaged.
Spitfire. That's the one. That is that. Wow, would you look at that?
Frameshift drive charging. Four,
Yeah,
three,
57.
two,
Yeah, never do.
one.
I never
Engage.
do. There are two. There are a few two-seaters now. 45 flight over the White Cliffs of Dover. With an ME 109 trailing you. Do you want that? Honestly, is that that must be amazing? Actually, seeing an ME 109 from a Spit over Dover. My God. That's getting all
Fuel scooping.
your World War II cliches. I'm still not animated enough. Sorry, Alzo. Is that okay? What has
Fuel
my
scoop
life become, honestly?
disengaged. Frame shift drive charging.
Yeah, that's all your World War II cliches all lined up in a row there, isn't it? That's amazing. I should get someone from Dad's Army to meet you with a cup of tea when you get off the plane. Oh, an electric
4,
seaplane
3,
due for Sydney.
2,
Wow.
1. Engage.
Like, I take it you mean fully electric, Barney. Do you know what sort of range it's got on it? I've just seen myself do the dance on the stream. That's quite unpleasant. Wow, an electric sea. I take it you mean
Fuel scooping.
dance monkey dance.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Did I just do what I think I just did? No, I didn't. Cool, that's good. Let's go there. For those of you that are interested in the reason I'm so interested about the whether the seaplane that Barney's talking about is electric or not is that loop of shame is that our car is electric, is fully electric and has been since I want to say 2014, I think 2013, 2014 when I bought my first electric car. And it looks like the petrol car is now finally in its last decade in the UK. I don't think 10 years from now anybody will be buying petrol cars other than as collector's items or as a curiosity. And having lived in, up until fairly recently, having lived in nowhere but quite intense urban look at that, quite intense urban environments my entire life, I'm overjoyed to hear. No worries, Andrew. We'll be all right, mate. Thank you very much. We'll be okay, buddy. Look at that. It's like something out of Blade Runner, doesn't it?
Docking request granted.
Let's do a bit of that and then try and grab it if I can. Too late. No. Little Ted, the seaplane crash in Sydney was caused by engine fumes, so an electric plane would be great. Barney, you're a fan of Fully Charged. It's a great show, isn't it? Yeah, I love Fully Charged. If you're not watching Fully Charged on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, it's a show fronted by Robert Llewellyn. He's been doing it over 10 years now, I think. It's all about electric cars was the primarily the driver behind it, I think, if you pardon the pun. But it's all about, you know, carbon-free energy and things like that. It's absolutely fascinating. But he does electric car reviews is one of the things he does on it. Yeah, Xania, we did, didn't we? Yeah, I know. Sad, really. The world could possibly be in a slightly different place had it gone. Do it, junk. Thanks, Gabriel. That's great. That's that's my self-confidence destroyed for the rest of the day. Thank you very much for that. Wow. Okay, let's go back. Let's go there and do that and go there.
Landing gear retracted. Ship
Matt,
released.
now for members of the Burr Squadron, I shall perform the secret Burrian dance as proof of identification. Okay, Barney, I'm confused by what you're saying there, Barney. You're in Australia, unless my memory has failed me. They're coming from Canada, and there's a couple of hours flight time. I will Google it when I get off, mate. I'll be fascinated to see um, what's going on with that. I can't imagine an electric plane is making a flight from Canada, but I could well be wrong. They might have moved on from the last time I looked at them. A super secret distress signal. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Here we go. Right, shall I queue up this carrier jump? And then we could
Fuel
maybe
station.
doing the thing.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Let's get stowed aboard the cave. I'll go and do that first. Where am I going? There. And then there. And then I'm going there. Okay. So I wonder what we're going to see or what we're going to learn tonight. More new stuffs, hopefully. I hope we see some new stuffs. Shall I have a quick look at see what? So sorry, I forgot who it was, but someone said that Frontier have released a bit more information about the stream tonight. Is that right? And where did you see that? I noticed a tweet popped up a few minutes ago on my phone, which I haven't looked at, so I'm wondering if it was that. I guess it's on the forums or something. I'll get parked on the cave here, and then we'll have a quick look and see what's going on. See if there's any juicy tidbits in there.
Comms established. Hello, Commander. Attention all ships. This carrier is scheduled a hyperspace jump. Please conclude any
There we go.
remaining business
Okay.
with the system prior to departure.
Let's do a quick
Commander, you are
circuit and
cleared
see
for
what's
approach.
going on. Gameplay would be nice, wouldn't it, Joe?
Request accepted. Your docking computer has assumed control.
Okay. So, right, let me get that link for you because you can, if you've got anything you want to ask, now's the time, really, people.
Landing gear deployed.
So there we go. They've put up a forum thread basically where you can go and ask. Thanks, Laban. Yeah, that basically where you can go and ask questions for tonight's live stream. Twitch drops are enabled again for this live stream tonight as well, guys. So if you haven't done that yet, I don't think it, from the look of what they've said so far, it doesn't look like the skins or the stuff that they'll be giving away is any different to the stuff that they gave away before. But if you haven't got it yet, it won't cost you anything. It's just free ship skins and free laser colors and engine trails and stuff like that. It's all purple. So if you haven't got that stuff, you're probably going to be watching the stream anyway. So you might as well do it. It don't cost you nothing and it's easy. So. Joined on stream by the awesome Dr. K. Ross to chat about new planetary tech coming to Elite Dangerous Odyssey. Twitch drops will also be in return to help us see and answer the questions you have on planetary tech in Elite Dangerous Odyssey. We have created this thread. I would like to know, I don't know if that's what they're after though. No, it probably isn't. But I want to know if we're going to get like re-entry effects or something like that. We don't even know that yet, do we? For goodness sakes. I presume we're going to see stuff like that. Matt Damon. They announced the stellar screenshot winners on Twitter, maybe an indication that they have tons to get into the stream. I tend to do that. They tend to do the stellar screenshots on the Tuesday live stream. I think Quiz Engine. I think that's the Tuesday Super Cruise News, isn't it? Rather than the Thursday one, because the Thursdays are much more about features and guests and things like that. I think. The airspeed velocity of an unladen eagle, is that African or European, Mazda? Oh, Aki, that's very sweet of you. I do try and keep it to that. A little bit of tin foilery is okay, though, every now and then, isn't it? You don't want to get too far down that path, but by the same token, it's okay to have a little bit of tinfoil every now and then. But we do. Hello, TCB. Are you okay? You all right? Sorry the face isn't better. Oh, the headphones. Yes, yes. I think that's what they are. I can't remember. I googled what was a good recommended gaming headset after I'd been through a couple of headsets that were hugely. My phone just lit up when I said Google, and now it's recording everything I'm saying. Go away. It's literally. I'm not kidding. I can if I can get this on camera. Look, while I've been talking there, Google has done that. Look, how creepy is that? For goodness sakes. Hey Google, you're creepy. To which she said, let's talk about something else. Yeah, again, with the creepy. Wow, how weird is that? Yeah, HyperX Cloud 2. I looked up on the internet for recommended gaming headsets, and that was the one that came up. Cave Systems, but they said no to that. No, not at the moment, Soundo. No, no. It is always recording TCB. You're quite right. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I basically looked up what was a good gaming headset, having had a few unsuccessful headsets and had them fall apart. And I needed a good microphone for obvious reasons. And this one just came up over and over again, and I have to say I've been very, very pleased with it. I love it. It's been good. It's been a good headset. How long have we got on our jump? Should we do doing the thing while we're waiting for the carrier to jump? Would that be a valuable use of time, do we think? I did a carrier jump immediately before the stream started because I suddenly realised I was a long way away from where I needed to be, which is always a fun place to be when you're a streamer. So I did a carrier jump right before the stream started, and I know it's easy to write that. I understand the argument about people wanted to see their carrier from the outside and wanted to see it go into hyperspace. I'm not unsympathetic to that. And I think it would be nice if they had like a lounge area when Odyssey happens that you could go to and sit and watch it from there. Wouldn't that be? That would be amazing. But I understand. I do understand the argument, but also if you've never done it, the on-board carrier experience as a piece of theatre, I suppose, is quite. It's all sound and a few subtle camera effects and things like that. But it is. I do think it's amazing. If you kind of shut all the rest of the noise off, don't stream and don't talk to Discord and stuff like that, and just let um, the whole once you particularly like the from the moment that you sort of go down on the lift and then you're in the hangar, if you really listen to all the background stuff that's going on and all you can hear all the bulkheads closing, and you can hear the bridge talking to the engineering and all this kind of, you got all these different messages going backwards and forwards, and it's getting ready for the jump. It's really, as a piece of theatre, I think it's really, really good. And I do understand that people said, "Oh, I wanted to sit outside and watch the carrier leave." I get that, I do get that, but you can do that. You can't go with the carrier, but you can sit back and watch it leave, and that is worth doing as well. By the way, that's amazing. And also try and catch one arriving, because that really is brilliant. That's incredible. But by the same token, the onboard experience, I wouldn't want to be without it. It's really, really good. I sit and listen to it all the time. If ever I'm on board my carrier and it is going somewhere, I do make a point of listening to it. It's quite a piece of theatre. But the sound engineering in Elite has always been extraordinary. Yeah, Aki. Yeah. Asteroid splits are just a thing of beauty, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. Should we do the doing the thing then? I know I say this every time, but we really need I need to hit a button so that we can have a quick doing the thing logo. Uh, yeah, Mazda. Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if we could go to the bridge or something, or go to like a social lounge and look out the window while it's going through hyperspace? That would be incredible. Okay, so this week's doing the thing. Those of you who aren't aware, the Burr's Cave, which is this the Buur Pit, which is basically this room that I'm in now, which is where me and Ree work on all our stuff, is littered, frankly, with nerdy stuff. Hello, Squid. Squid's just woken up. You all right? Is littered with nerdy stuff, and every week, if I remember and if I've got time, I try and get one of those little bits of nerdy things out, and so it's lots of models and all sorts of stuff like that. So this week's piece this was actually a Christmas present that I got for Ree. So every Christmas, Ree likes to do a jigsaw, which I know is sick and wrong, but it stops her wandering the streets looking for victims. So what can you do? She really likes doing jigsaws. I know, which is unnatural, honestly, but she does. So I, whenever possible, couldn't do it this year, but whenever possible, I try and get her a jigsaw. And she likes particularly these days likes to do nerdy jigsaws where at all possible. So I don't really know anything about jigsaws because, as I've said, it's unnatural and wrong. But she knows her jigsaws, and I just went looking for a nerdy jigsaw. I obviously want it to be, fairly complicated so that it's a bit of a challenge, so it can keep her busy for a couple of days over Christmas. And so I found a really nice nerdy jigsaw, and it was called I don't know what a lot of jigsaw pieces is, right? I don't get involved because it's wrong, but um, I don't know what a lot of pieces is. But I found one that was, I think it's like 50, it's like 1,000 pieces or 1,500 pieces, something like that, and it's called blah 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 impossible jigsaw, right? Well, I just thought impossible jigsaw meant that it was their way of saying, oh, it's a really tough jigsaw fans. Because of such people exist apparently, but it's a really tough jigsaw. It's impossible. Do you see? It's like, yeah, okay, whatever, yeah. But it turns out that an impossible jigsaw is actually a sort of jigsaw, and that's extremely difficult. It's like hilariously difficult. Carrier's about to do a thing. That is very so. That may have been an error on my part, and I've been told off for doing it. But having got to the end of this 1,000 or so piece impossible jigsaw, it was such an amazing picture, and obviously such a piece of work. It took her weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to do. Oops. But having got to the end of it, we decided rather than throw it all back in the box and do you want me to ramp the sound up a little bit? Rather than throw it all back in the box and never do it again, she decided to stick it down on a piece of card and frame it. So one of the other things, there is a point to all this. One of the other things that you may know about Ree is that she's a massive nerd, and really likes the Marvel universe, the MCU movies in particular. She's a huge fan of all that sort of thing. Always has been. So I got her this jigsaw. Ugh, there we go. So I don't know how on earth I'm going to frame this so that you can actually see it. But I'll try and get some. I can't see what you're looking at right now, so I hope against hope itself that you can actually see any of the detail on there. But in case it doesn't come out on camera, oh hang on, I'll tell you what I can do. I'm an idiot. I know this will be a surprise to all of you. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Right, there we go. So you're seeing my screen as well. It's a bit of a pain, isn't it? But yeah, so if in case the detail isn't coming out on screen, that is a jigsaw, and the pieces are tiny and cut very awkwardly. I have since learnt, so that it's actually quite difficult to put together. But as you can see, it contains, if not all, certainly most of the prominent Marvel characters from across the years. It's brilliant fun to sit in front of it and go, oh, there's Thanos and there's Captain Trousers and things like that. Captain Trousers isn't a character, but it would be great if he was. So there we go. So that hangs. This actually hangs on the wall, isn't it? That's a lot of details. Yeah, it is. Yeah. This actually hangs on the wall. I'll just put this down because it's rather big. Oh my god. Sorry about that. I'll just put that there and make sure I don't run it over with my chair. Right. So that actually hangs on the wall outside what we now call the Buur Pit, which is this is kind of a loft space, and it hangs on the above the shelves that I'm always talking about, which are sort of like stacked like that and covered with models. Having said about the wonderful sound design on this game, I've now talked all over the top of it. So there's some shelves just outside the door there. I'll try and get some pictures for you one day, but there's these lovely shelves that are just covered in beautiful models, and that kind of hangs above it basically. So that's what that is. That's this week's Doing the Thing. I hope you enjoyed. We should be arriving somewhere meaningful now to finish off doing another thing. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, it's not bad, is it, guys? Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's a beautiful thing to look at. It actually replaced another Marvel picture that was on the wall, which I found in a refound in a charity shop in town. Literally, it was like £2. Someone had gotten a picture of some Marvel characters, some of the more prominent ones, not nearly as many as that, but you had your Thor and your Spider-Man and all that, typical Avengers kind of stuff. Someone had gotten just just a real nothing poster of those, but framed it really nicely. Just framed it right, not in a really expensive frame. It was only like a little clip art one, but it just really worked. They'd done a really good job on it, and it was in a local charity shop for like £3. So we snapped that up and had that sitting in pride of place for a while out there now. That's now under a bed somewhere, and has been replaced by the jigsaw from hell. There's a fair bit of Marvel stuff on this floor in various places, but most of it's, I'm just trying to think, most of it's artwork, and I would like some little figurines or stuff like that, but I haven't found. We try not to get like junky stuff, if you know what I mean, like stuff that's just because it's quite easy for a lot of this stuff to just be tacky and horrible. So we try not to get the really cacky stuff. But hilariously, the regular viewer will know that on a couple of occasions we have deliberately bought some of the junkier, not so well painted, not so well created stuff. But Ree's quite the artist as well, so she's then brought that home, painted it, just added in a few details, and just added £10 to the value, and then put it on a shelf.
Docking request denied.
Because you're not close enough.
Docking request denied.
Because you're busy. Okay. This needs a queuing system, doesn't it? You there. Leave. Thank you. Bop it, twist it, pull it, burp it. Okay. Okay.
Docking request granted.
Here we go. So having jumped the carrier all the way out here, I now need to go back to where we
Landing
just
gear deployed.
departed from, hilariously. Did I? Yes, I did. Cool. Whenever you hear burp it, you always hear bop it, kids do it. I wish I hadn't called it the Buur Pit, spelt B-U-U-R. Tell you that. Oh.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
It's Barney. It's well, I've still got a scarf on, mate. I'm not a savage, okay. But it's it is a little bit chilly here still because you know it's Cornwall and the UK and it's February. It is a little bit chilly here still, but it's warmer than it has been. I have to say, it's definitely warmer than it has been.
Mission critical message.
Oh, have they given me something else? Wrong button. It's a little bit warmer than it has been, mate. But yeah, it's if I go out, I'd still have a jumper or a coat on. It's still like that, but it's not too bad at the moment. But it's actually really bright. I've actually got I don't normally have the blinds open on that. There's a window right there that kind of points right at the green screen. And I don't normally have that that window uncovered when I'm streaming, but so that I can control the light a little bit better. But it's so bright out today that it's actually helping to light the green screen. It's a little bit lighter. Where's the yeah there? It's a little bit lighter there than I'd like, but it's okay. It looks fine. So. Thanks, that's fine. Good. No, that was nothing of relevance there whatsoever. Jolly good. Yeah, so it's actually quite bright out at the moment. To answer your question, it's quite pleasant, although it is still quite chilly. But I do think we are going to go for a walk, I think, this afternoon, just to get a bit of sky above us. And for once, we won't be in danger of getting rain burn.
Frameshift drive charging.
Which will make a pleasant change. Hello, Nick Webb. How are you, mate? How are you, buddy? I've usually got a scarf on, Nick. Yeah, there pretty much isn't a day when I haven't got a scarf on. Even during the summer, I'll sit there with a scarf on. I just like having my neck covered and wearing a scarf. I don't know why. But I feel naked without it. I'm not, let's be clear. But
Fuel scooping.
here we go. This should be our final job of the day.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Let's try not to loop of shame it in a break with tradition. So I mentioned I was going to do a round the UK trip on Flight Simulator. Whenever I can't stream that at the moment because my PC cannot handle it. It can play Flight Simulator just about, but as soon as I start trying to stream with it as well, it's not having it. So I won't be streaming those, but I will sort of put together some short videos for anybody who wants to see that stuff. But what I was going to say was, if you fancy coming with me for some of it or all of it or any little bits of it, I'll stick it in Discord when I'm going to do it. There isn't a schedule as such at the moment. I'm kind of looking at Sundays, but we'll have to see how that pans out. But if anybody wants to come along, the current iteration of Flight Simulator handles multiplayer very well. It's very resilient. So if anybody wants to come along, if you've got Flight Sim, you would be more than welcome. Piloting competency is absolutely not required. Not on my watch. So if you've got it, you're more than welcome to come along. Reconnaissance loop, virtual agent. You're quite right. I misspoke. You're absolutely right. It is often important to check that the other side of the target that you're flying to is equally as safe as the side that you intend to approach. And also, I find it's a nice distraction technique. If anybody's pursuing you, then they'll suddenly think, oh, he's going in there. Oh, wait, he's not going in there. Hang on, what's he doing? Oh, I've lost him. That's why I do it. That's what that is. Nick, yes, I will. I will. It's going to be mostly everything I'm going to do is going to be mostly coastal, I think. It's going to be mostly coastal. If there's a reason to sort of pop in land and look at something specifically, then I'm well up for it, and I'm quite happy to take suggestions for where to go to. Like I happen to know that the Angel of the North, for example, is in the sim now. So when I get round to that bit, I'll be nipping in there and having a look at that. What we're doing? Have I got some hand-ins to do? I don't even know. I don't think I have I? No, we're done then. Cool. So certainly, yeah, North Wales will definitely be. I'm literally gonna I'm gonna start probably sort of mid Cornwall, where I live, and then just basically head up the coast. Literally follow the crinkly bits. I might nip out to the odd island and go all the way up to Scotland, up as far north as I can go, including islands, with it still being England, and then England and Scotland. Sorry, everyone, and then come back and go all the way back down to the southeast again, all the way around and back to Cornwall, and then land where I started. That's the plan, anyway. There's no schedule for it. There's no time limit. I'm not going to get it done in the next 6 months, or it's just going to take as long as it takes, and just enjoy the scenery, really. Raxler's tattoo. Raxler's location is tattooed on Burr's neck, and I wish it was, mate. I wish it was. Yeah, not me, Mr. Naked apart from a scarf. That wouldn't be a good look. Really, really wouldn't. Really wouldn't. Aussie flies, you're very welcome. I hope they're useful to you, sir. Right then. I think we're going to call that done. Where are we? Midday. There we go. That's all right. Ree will be finishing up the phone call with her mum. We can go and have a little something to eat and then go for a walk. In case you're unaware already, you're not actually on the Buur Pit's YouTube channel at the moment. This is the Buur Pit Plays. It's our second YouTube channel. So if you want to drop us a sub, then please do. No pressure, obviously. You know what we're like. But if you want to, please do. We do, as you've noticed, Elite Dangerous streams on here. Any other random Elite, you might get some random Elite stuff on here, but also anything else that kind of takes our fancy. This is where we put it. But we didn't want to sully the main Elite feed that we're known for. So don't panic. We're not going to suddenly run off and start doing loads of other games because Elite's amazing. But this is a second channel, so in case you're not aware. Someone's done a thumbs down. Thank you so much, whoever you are. That's marvellous. That always makes me laugh. Stay safe, people. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you've had fun. I have. This was brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me. Always, frankly, a constant surprise. It's lovely that you fine folks turn up. We do appreciate it. We've got a very busy weekend with a schedule of videos coming up. Do not miss Saturday's video. I cannot stress that enough. Do not miss Saturday's video. Ria's put something like 30 to 40 hours into it. It's a collaboration with another member of the community. We're very proud of it, and we will be premiering it on Saturday afternoon. It'll be a nice couple of minutes of serenity in the middle of your day with some beautiful stuff. You know the sort of stuff we do. We'll have Which Space news tomorrow at the very least, and depending on how the live stream goes tonight and what's in it and how quickly we can work something up. We'll try and either way, it'll either be tonight that we'll get the live stream summarized for you, or it'll be in the news tomorrow. Don't know how that's going to go. We'll flow with the punches, but it'll probably be a video tonight if I had to put my bet on it. Thank you so much, everyone. If you're not aware of who we are, there's links in the description below to our Discord and all that sort of stuff. This has been huge fun. Thank you so much. Do please take care of yourself and each other. Stay safe. Take this stuff seriously, and we will all be together again very soon. I will see you next week. Have fun, guys. Thank you so much. Where's my off button? Off button. I struggle with this every week. Let's have that one.